Hey everybody, happy Halloween. I am back for American Horror Story review. You guys, this episode was extremely grueling, wasn't it? Yes. Let me just get right into my American Horror Story Halloween notes. The episode starts off in 1961. A young black boy is attending De La Salle High School for the very first time. A time where integration is taking place. A time when white people are a tad bit upset that black kids are infiltrating their schools, as some of them might have said. He's riding his bike home after a day at school when a black car is following him. He starts to ride a little faster and the car speeds up. And then he rides a little faster and the boy speeds up. And then he heads straight down an alley, jumps off the bike and turns around, and there are three white men coming straight at him. Marie Laveau's hair salon. And she has a woman that's working there in the 60s that is just so happy and just so magnificently looking forward to the future. The future of black kids being able to go to white schools and integration and no racism. She is just hopeful. We are hopeful today. She's all happy about that when they get a call. Her man, Marie Laveau's partner, run down to the tree, y'all. The boy has been hung from a tree. And the lady is distraught. And Marie Laveau sees this and decides that she's going to take revenge. So she lays out her bones and her rocks and candles, and we start to get into the ritual. This ritual is going to wake the dead. And when they wake the dead, they're going to travel and slump through a dark cemetery and come to a barn where the three men who hung the boy are hidden. They're going back and forth about how they had to do something. The governor did all he can, and they have to do something to keep all these niggas out of their schools. And then they hear boom, boom, boom on the door. And they go to the door with the gun raised. And then all of a sudden, dead people start to break down the fucking door, come in there and rip everybody apart. They take the one guy who said the N-word and pulls out all of his guts all over the fucking floor, and they just feast on these motherfuckers. We've been wondering about the butler Spaulding, but we're going to get into his crazy ways this episode. Spaulding is having tea time in his little cupboard with all of his thousands of dolls. He heard a commotion going on. So he gets up and he goes into the foyer, and then he sees Madison and Fiona going back and forth with a knife between them. And then he sees as Fiona cuts Madison's throat. And he just looks and he just sees. And she tells him to clean that shit up, and she hears a crash outside. She runs outside to find a seemingly dead Queenie sprawled out across the fucking brick. And all I can say is, which part's the head? They take her inside, and she and Cordelia start to work on making Queenie better. Okay, she stops breathing, but as they try to make her better, they are discussing the fact that it is one of their faults. Okay, it's either Fiona's fault for going to Marie Laveau's shop trying to show strength, allegedly, or it's the fault of her daughter Cordelia for going for some trick-ass fertility spell that probably wouldn't have worked, said Fiona. Fiona breathes into Queenie's mouth, and then she starts to breathe again. So another one of the gifts that she has. It's amazing to me how we haven't seen this gift yet. Okay, we gotta wait until episode 4 or 5 in order to see you bring somebody back to life, bitch. Fucked up. But I'm glad you brought her back to life all the same. In order to seek revenge upon Marie Laveau, because they know that it was she who sent the Minotaur, they cut off the Minotaur's head. I'm sorry, Fiona cuts off the Minotaur's head, puts it in a big ass box, and sends it over to the night ward to Marie Laveau's shop, where her hairstylist says, "Ooh, what's in the box, bitch?" Opens it up, yeah, see what's inside the box, and it's his fuck head. No, bitch. And we know it's on and popping. Marie Laveau goes and lays down the rocks and animal parts and candles and shit and gets ready for another ritual. We about to raise the dead again in this motherfucker. Okay? Shimmery timbers. Okay? Shimmery timbers. Then her hairstylist comes in and tells her that she needs to fix this. They don't need any more bloodshed like before. And she says, child, you know nothing of that. You weren't even born yet. And she was like, yeah, but I was born into those stories of the bloodshed all over the streets. And you need to make this right just like before. Before, Marie Laveau and Regina Rich made signed a pact or a contract in order for everyone to stop all the killing on the black witches side and the white witches side, okay? And they want to keep this truce going. But Marie Laveau tells her, look here, child, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So you either going to be on my side or you not going to be on my side. And if you're going to do the latter, I suggest you stay the fuck out of my way. So Zoe is still with Kyle, and she found him last episode after he basically bashed in his little rapey mom's face. And of course she doesn't understand because Kyle can't talk yet for some reason. And she thinks that it's time for Kyle to die. So she decides to take some rat poisoning and put it in tuna fish. And when she goes to feed it to him, she finds that he has disappeared upon a busy Halloween costume-filled New Orleans street. So now, what is she going to do? I told y'all that I didn't feel right about Cordelia's husband, right? Well, this episode, we find him fucking the dog shit out of some redhead. And the redhead expresses during breakfast how they met online and how she feels as if he knew he had her before they even talked to one another. And then she says that, she can tell he's probably a ladies' man and he travels a lot and they're in this nice-ass hotel room. And she's just like, as long as you don't break my heart. And he caresses her face and her hair and jerks her head to the side like he's going to bend down to kiss her. And then he shoots her in the fucking head. Confused? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. All I know is I was getting straight devil tease off this dude the entire time. Devil tease. Okay? Queenie finally wakes up to find Cordelia and Delphine by her side. Delphine seems especially grateful that Queenie went out there and risked her life for her. Little did she know that she was going out there for some bull/human meat. She tells her, I don't know how I ever repay you. And she tells her, I guess you'll have to work on that, won't you? Myrtle, Snow, and the council show up. And Cordelia runs to greet them. And before they can even say why they're there, she starts to say how sorry she is about Queenie and how she knows that she shouldn't have gone to Marie Laveau for help. And basically giving them more information that they needed than they needed before she finds out why they're even there. Fiona comes into the room and tells her to be quiet. She says hello to all the council members who she seemingly knows and does not like, but she's giving nice, nasty shade. They tell her that they're there because one of the students called. And then Nan raises her hand and says, I called because I can't hear Madison anymore. And she can't hear Madison anymore, so she thinks Madison's dead. And everybody has the shock on their face because they know if any witch kills another witch, she shall be burned at the stake. So they start to interrogate Fiona because Myrtle Snow went to school with Fiona. And she remembers the last time a witch disappeared on those grounds. It was Regina Rich. Regina Rich disappeared because she was the Supreme. And Myrtle Snow knows this. So back in the Gap, she knew that your boy Butler Spalding would do anything for Fiona. She didn't exactly know how or why, but she cast a spell on his tongue to make sure that he would tell the truth when he went in the next day for his interrogation. And this is back in the past, okay? And he heard her talking about this at the table. So he calls Cordelia, 18-year-old Cordelia, down to his room, and he tells her that these are the last words that he's going to speak. That he has always loved her and he always will. And he cuts his tongue out. And it's gross. And I'm glad they didn't show the whole thing. So happy. So we get back to present day to explain why Myrtle Snow knows what the fuck is going on all damn ready. She expresses that she knows that Fiona killed Regina Rich because she was the first Supreme and you wanted to be Supreme. And you killed Madison because you knew she was the Supreme and you knew you were going to lose it. She goes off. But Cordelia stands up in defense of her mother and says that you've got it all wrong, people. Madison was not the Supreme. The Supreme has to have a strong heart. and Madison had a heart murmur. She kept it in check, but still, she was not the supreme. To the surprise of Fiona, I might add. Later that night, Cordelia and Fiona go out for a drink, and they're discussing the past day's events. They're playing truth or truth, asking each other questions. Cordelia wants to know why Fiona hates her husband so much. It's because he smells of bullshit. And Cordelia wants to know what the deal is with Madison. Did you kill her? And Fiona lies and says that, no, I did not kill Madison. I did not. But we all know it's for play. Cordelia gets fucked up. She goes to the bathroom to relieve herself when someone cloaked in black throws some type of burning liquid into her eyes. Scary shit. Then we move over to the trick-or-treaters that are running amok in the neighborhood looking for sweet and savory treats. They knock on the door, knock. And Jake comes in with them. At the old house, Delphine answers the door, giving the kitties candy. And he has a gift for Nan to thank her for the beautiful and delicious pie she made for him. She's all excited when there's another knock at the door. Knock. Delphine goes to open the door and she sees 3 dead people, seemingly her 3 dead daughters. Have you ever wondered what happened to Madison's body? What did Spaulding do? Did he put it 6 feet under like Fiona suggested? Oh no, he decided to keep it for dress up and tea time. And that was American Horror Story. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.